Hello students, welcome to Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. So here we are again coming to you live regarding the CSEET course, right? So in this session, we would focus on the current affairs part. So this would be the subject that we would be covering in this session. So hope all of you are ready. May I know the students who are there in the class today? Do we have all those students who were there in the previous sessions? This is my 4th consecutive session. So are there anybody who were there in the previous sessions as well who are attending this session? You can leave your comments in the comment section. Okay, there are no comments coming. Am I audible to all of you? Are you able to hear what I'm talking? Can I have a few responses in the comment section? Yes, no, something of that sort. Okay, Sai Deshpande. Yes, sir. Good evening. Thank you, Sai Deshpande. Right. So I'm audible. Great. Okay. Anybody else who's there? Are you able to hear? Okay. Sumati Gopinath says good evening. Right. Good evening. So you're able to hear what I'm talking. Great. Yes, sir. I've attended last 3 sessions. Beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much for attending the 4th session as well. Wonderful. So in the previous 3 sessions, we were focusing on economic business environment. So here the focus is on current affairs. This is what we'll be doing in this particular session. Right. So do you all have any doubts regarding the previous session that we had, or can we go ahead? Any doubts regarding the concept of equilibrium, then the concept of contraction and expansion, increase and decrease in demand? Yesterday, we had a discussion on the market structure. So these are the 3 important topics that we have cleared. We started with equilibrium, L-I-B-R-I-U-M. This is what we started with. Before this, we discussed the law of demand and we discussed the law of supply. In the second session, we focused on increase and decrease in demand and contraction and expansion of demand. This is what we did. In the third session, that is yesterday's session, we had a discussion on the market structures. This is what we did. And today we will be focusing on CSEET's current affairs part. So this is what we'll be discussing today. This is the whole plan that we have done in order to orient you all towards the course. So let me just remind you, all this course is brought to you by the Ekcel Academy. So Ekcel Academy is into training, coaching, mentoring the CS aspirants. And we are one of the leading channels when it comes to English content. All our videos, our classes are all in English, right? Thank you, Vyas. Thank you, Sumati. You have told you don't have any doubts. Wonderful. So this is very nice. So at Ekcel Academy, we extend coaching for CSEET, then the executive course, then the professional, that is the final exam as well. So today's discussion, like I've been telling from the beginning, is on current affairs. So current affairs is for 20 marks, right? So this is very important. This is for 20 marks. Now there is a syllabus which is given to all of us. So if you look at the syllabus, if you look at the study material, it runs for 90 pages, right? And why am I talking about the number of pages? Because in your syllabus, if you see, the first chapter is for around 45 pages. The remaining 3-4 chapters are covered in the remaining 45 pages. Good evening, Darshini. Welcome to the class. Right. So the first chapter runs for around 45 pages and the remaining 3-4 chapters runs for another 45 pages. Great. So there are a wide range of things that are discussed here. We talk about the political environment of the country. We talk about the financial environment of the country. We also talk about the legal environment of the country. And we talk about many things: awards, sports, books, personalities. There are lots and lots of things. Even there is a mention about the historic information related to our country. So this is how the syllabus is framed. Now, the question that arises is, in all other subjects, we tell that you have to read the study material that is given by ICSI. This is what we tell. So the study material which is given by ICSI is everything for us. Everything should be studied from there. But when it comes to current affairs, this concept doesn't hold good. Why? Now look at the name of the subject, current. What is the meaning of the word current? Current means something which is happening in the present, right? So that is what is called current. What is happening today? What happened yesterday, right? That is current for us, right? This study material is written sometime in 2019 or so, if I'm correct, 2019 September. When the book was written, it was definitely current. It was the present. It has all the present things that were happening in 2019 or so. But now we are in 2021, right? So what has happened is all or most of the things that are written in the study material has become redundant. What is the meaning of the word redundant? Redundant means something which is old, something which is of no use, something which is obsolete. So is the study material waste? Shouldn't we download the study material at all? Will it be of no use? No. I'm not telling that. There is another use or other things that we can derive out of this particular thing. What is it? Now understand the chapters that are there in your current affairs syllabus. That's the first thing to do. There is a chapter on political affairs. There is a chapter on financial affairs. There is a chapter on legal affairs. Understand all those things. Look at the heads. So these chapters are telling us what is the type of news that we should focus on. So that's what the chapters are telling. Go through each chapters, glance. You will get the different headings, right? And these headings tells us which is the area of importance for us. That is what it tells. For example, if you're talking about the financial affairs, we talk a lot about RBI. So RBI becomes a very important topic for us. Anything that is related to RBI should be read and understood by us, correct? Then we talk about, if you're talking about the legal environment, we talk about the high courts, we talk about the Supreme Courts. So anything the high courts and the Supreme Courts tell, we have to keep a watch on that. There is something called NCLAT, right, and NCLT. There is something called Competition Commission of India, right? So all these becomes very, very important for us, and we have to keep a track of all those things that comes from these bodies. If you're talking about the political environment, we talk about the government, we talk about the ministries, we talk about the ministers, we talk about the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, all these things. So those things again become very important for us. So what do we understand with all these things? We understand that the syllabus that is given to us, the study material which is given to us, we have to glance all of them once. A quick glance. I'm not asking you to go deep into any of these things, but quickly glance, understand all the heads that are covered in the syllabus. So after that, your preparation has to start. So the question is, what should we study then? If the syllabus is redundant, right, it is of no use to us, if it is of not much of help to us, where should we read? What should we study? Has anybody got any idea? Can somebody give some inputs on this? Can somebody give some inputs? So what should we read? From where should we read? What should we follow in order to prepare ourselves for the current affairs exam of CSEET? Can somebody suggest something, please? You can leave your suggestions in the comment box. Newspaper, fantastic. So Pratiksha says we should read the newspapers. Wonderful, right? So first source of information for us is the newspaper. Very good. Then, any other suggestions? Economic Times newspaper. Okay, there is a specific mention here. It is the Economic Times newspaper is what we have to read. Very good. Then, Business Magazine. Fantastic. We should read the magazines, right? We should read the magazines. Okay, very nice. Then, any other sources of information for us to prepare ourselves for current affairs? Good job, Pratiksha, Vyas, and Kavya. Nice. Any other suggestions from where we can read and understand the news and keep ourselves updated with the current affairs? Anybody can give a suggestion? Okay. How about following few business related apps? Right? That's another thing that we can do. There is another option, the fourth one, that is following the ICSI's e-bulletin. Following ICSI's e-bulletin. Here the national leader's speech. Yes, okay, good. So these are some of the most important things that we can do. 1, newspaper. 2, business magazines. 3, business related apps. 4 are business news related apps. And 4 is ICSI e-bulletin. So when we're talking about newspapers, which are the newspapers that we have to read? Somebody told Economic Times. Very good. Economic Times is one of the best newspapers to read. It is also advised that you should read Financial Express. Please make a note of this. Financial Express is the newspaper that you're supposed to read. Sir, can we subscribe a newspaper to the house? Is Financial Express available in all cities and all villages? How much would it cost? Is it okay to subscribe newspapers during the time of Corona? Although it is told that newspaper has got nothing to do with Corona, it doesn't spread the virus. So some concerns are definitely there. So should we do it? Do not worry much. Financial Express newspapers app is available in the Play Store as well as in the Apple Store. Download it. Absolutely free. At the bottom of the app would be like this when you open the screen. At the bottom of the app, there is an icon. And this icon says it is e-paper. Right? You just have to click on this icon, which is at the bottom of the home page. Right? So when you open this, that day's newspaper, that week's newspaper, even that month's newspaper would be available to you. So you just have to click on whichever day's newspaper you want. That newspaper opens and you can read. So this is the most economic way of following the business news. Follow Financial Express newspaper, download their app, and later click on the e-newspaper and read the newspaper. This is the best way that you can do it. Business Standard app is also fine. Anything that you are comfortable with. I prefer Financial Express. ICSI has a tie-up with Financial Express, and some time back, they were even sending the link of Financial Express newspaper to all the members, that is the practicing company secretaries and all that. So they suggest that read Financial Express. It will help you to do well in the examination. So I generally follow and I suggest Financial Express. If you are comfortable with Economic Times or Business Standard or any other newspaper, you're absolutely fine. Reading papers like Deccan Herald and Times of India may not serve, or Hindu or Indian Express may not serve CSEET current affairs objective, because the questions that we get here are all related to business, and for that we have to read Financial Express or Economic Times or Business Standard. Hope you have understood. That's about the newspapers. Can I go to the second tip? Are you all ready? Can I go to the second tip? Are you all ready? Is the newspaper thing clear to all of you? Please leave your comments in the comment section, so that makes it clear for me that all of you are following the class. Okay. So the second point that we have to discuss here is about another app. So this app is called the InShort app. Okay, thanks, Pratiksha. Thanks, Vyas. The second thing is the InShort app. Now, this is another app that is available to you. So after you download this app, you can select the areas regarding which you want the news in your news feed. Please select business. Please select international affairs. Select sports, right? Select political news, right? Select finance related news. Select economy related news, right? So this is how we have to look at it. So in your feed, you will start getting news related to these things. One good thing about this is, if I ask you a question, why is it that you do not read newspapers? You will tell that the news bits will be very long and it is difficult for you to read, understand, and later retain all the facts and figures that are given. So that's why you don't prefer reading newspaper. So this app developers have understood your concerns really well. And what they do is they provide the news item, something like this. There'll be a picture related to the news. There'll be a headline followed by the news bit, which doesn't go beyond 75 words or so. So what happens now? Just by reading 75 words, it looks more or less like a WhatsApp message. Correct. 60 to 75 words is their band. So they provide the news. So heading is covered, news is covered. You also get to see a picture. So what happens now? Reading, understanding, and retaining, all the three things will happen. So that is why I've been following this app for more than 5-6 years now. And I tell all my students, be it in plus 2 or in undergraduate course or in any of the professional courses, I advise them to have this app in their phones and follow the news. This should help us to do really well in the current affairs. And what happens with InShort is, in real time, you keep getting the news updates. What is the meaning of real time? Real time means as and when the news takes place, it is updated, most of the things. In newspaper, we have to wait for the second day. Maybe we read in shorts and understand what the news is, and maybe the following day, we can read the entire article and understand what the news is all about. So this is something which you can do. So you should download 2 apps soon after this session so that you can do well in your examination. First one is download the Financial Express app. Second is download the InShorts app. Yes, Vyas. Real time means immediately. Correct, Vyas. Good job. So that's about the apps that we have to download. The third thing that you have to do well in the current affairs exam is visit www.icsi.org. This is the website, or sorry, edu. I'm sorry, .edu. So this is the website of ICSI. So scroll down this page and you will get an icon. So this icon says CSEET. So this is what the icon says. Great. So what you have to do, click on this. All the news that is related to CSEET will appear. And there you will have something called the Ebulletin, which is very important. Ebulletin. This is released every month. So for each month, you will have one Ebulletin. So what's great about Ebulletin? Ebulletin will carry some news which is relevant to the company secretaries and the chapter. Along with that, there will be a topic that will be explained to you. Okay. Followed by, there'll be questions on all the papers of CSEET. So here, you just have to go, you can go to any of these papers. It can be your business communication, or it can be law, it can be logical reasoning, it can be economic and business environment, or you can go to the current affairs part. So there'll be 10 questions that would be given with multiple choices, right? So I can answer all of them. At the bottom of the quiz or the test, the key answers would also be there, right? So the best thing that you can do is you can do this. Okay, there is a question. Sir, I have a doubt. We have our exams on 10th. Yes. So for time being, how to prepare? So for time being, the best thing that you can do, Pratiksha, is Your papers, I think by now would be ready. So no point in reading the newspaper now. You should go back to what has happened. So the best thing is go to icsi.edu. We are in the month of July. Download June, then May, then April, then you have March, and maybe Feb and Jan, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months e-bulletins you download, right? Each e-bulletin will carry 10 questions on each subject. So try solving the current affairs news bits. So 10 into 6, 60 questions you will answer. Read the explanation that is given in the current affairs part as well. So that should give you some sort of direction and motivation. For current affairs, there is no shortcut. We have to prepare it on a daily basis. Now that you have exams on 10th, do not worry much. Download 6 e-bulletins from icsi.org website. Then solve all those 10 questions. So 10 into 6, 60. And that should give you a lot of confidence. There is another question that has come. But remembering the politicians' names and government employees' names is a bit difficult. Okay. Now, in Financial Express newspaper, be it the hard copy or the soft copy, on top of most of the pages, there'll be a picture of the person, right? And along with the picture, their statement would be given, their name and designation would also be there. So the best thing that you can do, Sumati, is start focusing on this column every day. Do it for 10 days. Automatically, you will come to know who's Narendra Modi, who's Amitabh Kant, who's Ratan Tata, who's Mark Zuckerberg, who's Elon Musk, who's Satya Nadella, or who's Nikesh Arora. All these names will be familiar. So look at their picture, read the statement, and look at their designation. You do it for 10 days, then automatically you will get introduced to so many people. Right. So that's one way of doing it. Okay. So now there are even remembering the years is difficult, sir. What I used to do to remember a year is I used to keep a bench year as say 1950. So I read something, say for example, when did India liberalize its economy? 41 years after independence we did it. So it is 1991. Correct. Then the question would be something like say when did India win the first World Cup? So from my base year, after 33 years we did, so in the year 1983. So this is how we have to remember. Keep a base year and keep comparing the event from the year. So 1950 is the time India became republic. So from that point onwards, after how many years we have achieved this? So that's how you should do it. When did we test our first nuclear bomb? Sometime in 1975, right? So that's the first time we checked. And again, we tested our nuclear bombs sometime in 1999. So this is how you have to remember. Okay, good. Vyas says 1983. Vyas, I have a question for you. When did India win the second 50 over World Cup? Anybody can answer. When did India win the World Cup, 50 over World Cup or ODI World Cup for the second time? Anybody can try. When did India win the ODI World Cup for the second time? 2011. Beautiful. When did India win the T20 World Cup? In which year did India win the T20 World Cup? 2011. Fantastic. Beautiful. 2011 is ODI. 2007 is when we won the T20 World Cup. Beautiful. Great. So now, along with all these things, there is another thing which you can do. Like I've been telling since the last 3 days, at Ekcel Academy, we just don't train students for the examination. Our idea is to handhold the company aspirants from the first point till the last point. That's what we focus on. We don't call ourselves just as teachers or trainers. We call ourselves as mentors. So as mentors, handholding you, coaching you and showing you the right direction is what we do. And this entire activity is called mentoring program. So it is not just about preparing you for the exams and helping you pass the examination and then tell me, created company secretaries. No, we also want quality company secretaries. Maybe that's the idea with which all of us work. So with respect to CSEET, with respect to current affairs in particular, what we do is every Saturday, please remember this, every Saturday at 7 p.m., right? Every Saturday at 7 p.m., we release the weekly roundup of current affairs. Whatever has happened in that week from Monday to Saturday, we cover that in our Saturday's release. This is what we do. I had told you all that we have interaction with the practicing company secretaries. 25 episodes of that has been completed. So you get to listen to the people who are already company secretaries and who are practicing. And there are a lot of video lectures that keep getting uploaded. Along with that, we release the weekly roundup on every Saturday at 7 p.m. and we try to cover some of the important news bits, right? Is QSTN paper will be more complicated, sir. What is QSTN? Meera Nadarajan, can you please tell what is QSTN? Is it question? Is question paper will be more complicated, sir? Definitely not. The difficulty level of CSEET exam is moderate. It is neither too difficult nor too easy. It is kept moderate. Do not worry. There wouldn't be many complicated questions. It will definitely challenge you, but they're not very difficult. So you just have to subscribe to our channel, and every Saturday you should watch this video. It will not last for more than 10 minutes. And in this 10 minutes, we try to cover around 10 to 12 important news bits that has happened in that particular week. Okay. So what we do is we focus on personalities, events, economic development, political development, sports activities. Everything is covered. The new startups, all these things are covered in this release of ours, and we make sure that it helps you to prepare for the CSEET examination. So if you are writing your exam on 10th of July, then straight away go to the bulletin, e-bulletin, download last 6 months, 8 months e-bulletin, solve all the questions there, and you can prepare yourself. You'll get an idea about the type of questions that will be asked in the examination. That's one part of it. If you're writing your exam at a later date, maybe in August or something, whenever the exam you have, if you're writing your exam then download the Financial Express app. Let me just remind you the things that you're supposed to do. Download the Financial Express newspaper app. Download InShots app. Then subscribe to, if you're ready to subscribe to Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. And if you have already subscribed to our new channel, then what you're supposed to do is every Saturday at 7 p.m. you can watch our current affairs videos that will help you to prepare. Please explain the recent news about public bank and private bank. What exactly are you looking at when you say public bank and private bank? Right. So by the time Sumati comes back to us with some of the details, I'll just show how the weekly roundup questions would be, or the PPT would be. So this is how it looks, the current affairs weekly update. This was done last week. It's already available on our channel. So I'm just taking you through the type of questions or the type of news bits that you have to follow. We've already completed 20 sessions. So tomorrow, our 21st episode with respect to current affairs would start. Okay. Public bank converting to private bank. Definitely, Sumati. I'll do it. Okay. So now, 10.4 lakh new members join ECSI. Sir, I have a doubt not relating to your subject. In the instruction sheet, they have informed us not to use calculators or pen. How do we do logical reasoning? Will there be space for rough work? I think there would be space, right? And most of the logical reasoning questions would be in such a way where you can do mental calculation. Okay. Your camera should be on. I think that's what the instruction says. So I don't think you can use the calculators. but you can definitely do the calculations. Okay, that most of the questions would be in such a way where you can do the mental calculation. That's why what I suggest to you is attend the logical reasoning live session that's going to happen after this. I think I'm not very sure about the schedule, but I think it will be there. And also, go to the ICSI's e-bulletin and see the questions that are asked under logical reasoning. So you will get an idea how to deal with those questions. Okay. So this is a news that was there in last week's newspaper. So it is talking about ESI. So ESI is a social security program which every company has to follow. A CSEET exam online. Yes, as of now, CSEET exams are online. Logical reasoning will easy only. Don't worry, my friends. Explain. We can calculate. Yes, correct, Sumati. Logical reasoning will be kept easy. You can do mental calculation if you know how to add, subtract, divide, multiply, and all that. And if you know how to approach a given question, you should be able to answer. There are videos available with respect to logical reasoning in our Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. So please follow at least 5-6 videos maybe after this class. So that should leave you with some sort of idea about how the questions would be and how to approach it. Our colleague Vishwas sir has done a lot of videos on logical reasoning. Please do follow, and that should help you in understanding the logical reasoning part. Yeah, CSET exams are online. Yes. Okay. When are you writing the exam, Mira? When are you writing the exams, Mira? Okay, there is no reply. Right. Okay, 10th. Right. So Delta plus cases on rise. So this is a new corona variant that had come. So even about this, we had covered in our last week's release. EPF Edition. EPF stands for Employee Provident Fund. We have had a detailed discussion on this as well, right? Marks don't matter for a dream job, but your profile does. So in this news bit, we were talking about this company, which is called Career Labs. So here we are trying to cover the companies and the brands that they had done. So then online milk deliveries. So here again, we were talking about a new type of business that is emerging. So this is what we covered, right? So then we had NPS is gaining. NPS is National Pension Fund. So we had a discussion on that as well in the previous week's video. So here we have, somebody was asking, sir, how do we remember the names of the people? So here we have R.K. Singh. This is the photo of Mr. R.K. Singh. Here is the name, R.K. Singh, and his ministry. What is it? He is the Minister for Union Power. So when you see this kind of a photo, his name and designation and all those things will get registered in your minds. Prasad Fumes. So who's Prasad? Prasad is Ravi Shankar Prasad. And what is he? He is the Electronics and IT Minister. So there is tiff that is going on between Government of India and Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, all these companies are not adhering to the rules that are laid down by Indian government. So this has led to a big fight between these companies and Union Government of India. So that is being covered extensively in the newspapers. So this is something which all of you have to know. Then HTech startup, that is Class Plus raises 65 million. So here we have 2-3 things to remember or understand. What is HTech? HTech is education companies which use technology to reach to students and teach. Ekcel Academy is also a type of HTech company where we are using technology to reach out to all of you. So this is about HTech. What's a startup? Startup means a company which relies on innovation, and this would most of the time be started by first generation entrepreneurs. Need not be, that's not a condition, but they'll be highly innovative in nature. So such companies are called startups. So Class Plus is a startup, and that company has raised $65 million as funding. And this comes from one of the largest investors in the world. It is the Tiger Global. So this is the kind of information we get in every news bit that we come across, right? ED transfers 9,371 crore assets to banks. So here it is. So these people, that is Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi, they have borrowed crores together from the banks and they have ran away from the country, right? Vijay Mallya is in London, Nirav Modi is in London, and Mehul Choksi is somewhere in the Caribbean, that is in West Indies. So Indian government is trying to get them back and jail them in India. So meanwhile, the Enforcement Directorate has transferred the assets of these people worth 9,371 crores. So banks will sell all these things and they will recover the loans that they have given. Out of this 9,371 crores, around 5,000 crore rupees is expected to go to SBI, because SBI is one of the largest lenders of money, especially to Vijay Mallya. Right. So Jio, Google's most affordable smartphone to debut in September. So this is another big news that was there last week. Reliance, Jio, and Google have come together and they're all set to release the most affordable smartphone, which would cost just about 5,000 rupees is what is told. So we just have to wait for another month to see how exactly it works. And this phone even supports the 5G technology. Pradhan urges OPEC to raise oil output. See, OPEC is oil producing countries. Saudi Arabia is the leader, and most of them come from the Gulf region. This is another example for oligopoly market. Yesterday, we were discussing about the oligopoly market structure. So one of the examples for that is OPEC, right? And who is Pradhan? Pradhan is the oil minister of India. His full name is Dharmendra Pradhan. So he is the minister for oil in the country. So he urged the oil companies to increase the supply so that prices fall. We had discussed this while discussing the law of supply. So what was that? We had discussed that when supply increases, demand is constant, the price falls. Correct? So that's what we had discussed. So in India, the petrol and diesel prices have touched 100 rupees in few states like Rajasthan, where the state government's tax on petrol and diesel is very high. The petrol and diesel prices are at 110 rupees. So Pradhan is urging the OPEC countries to increase the supply. So this were the news bits that we covered in our previous week's current affairs class. So tomorrow again, I've already started preparing and we would be releasing it tomorrow on Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. So you all can wait for it. Every Saturday at 7 p.m. we release this. So you can go through this and understand and prepare yourself for the CSEET exams. Do you have any doubts? Is anybody waiting to ask any doubts? Do you have any questions? You can please ask and get it clarified. If you do not have any doubts, you can just leave in the comment section telling you do not have any doubts, so that it makes it very clear that all that we have discussed so far has been understood by you. No doubt, sir. Is it easy to pass? Absolutely, Pratiksha. Need not worry at all. Don't worry much. Like I told you, go to the e-bulletin, download the e-bulletin, solve the questions. That will give you a lot of confidence. That should really help you to do well. That's what we do with our students. We make them solve the e-bulletin questions so that they gain the confidence. Okay, Vyas says no doubts. When are you writing the exam, Vyas? Okay, thank you so much, sir. Okay, I wish all of you all the very best. Do well in the exams. Exams will not be difficult. It will be moderate. You can definitely do well. Keep your calm. Read the questions carefully. Understand the options and then answer the questions. Okay. So wish you all the very best. God bless you all. Hope to see you all passing CSEET examinations. Okay, Vyas is writing in November. Great. Public to private. So in India, we had the private banks. The nationalization of the banks took place in India in two phases, right? One was during 1960s, and second time it happened in 1980. So we had 27 banks. So most of these banks were incurring loss, and their services were not up to the mark. So the present government first decided to merge these banks. All state banks in the country, for example, we had State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Travancore, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Maharashtra, all these banks, they were all merged to form one bank, and that is SBI. Today, SBI is the largest bank. It is called the amalgamation of banks. Then in another amalgamation, Canara Bank, Syndicate Bank, Bank of Baroda, all these banks came together. And this way, 4 huge banks are created. There are 3 banks, public sector banks. Public sector banks means the banks which are owned by government. So there are 3 banks which are incurring huge losses, and they are not up to the expected levels. So such banks are being privatized by the Indian government. So the private banks were made nationalized banks. Nationalized banks were amalgamated to form bigger banks. There are a few banks which are public sector banks which are not performing at the expected level. Such banks are being privatized. Did I answer your question, Sumati? No, Sai Deshpande. No, there is no rule that all questions will be from e-bulletins. E-bulletins will give you a direction, will give you an understanding about the type of questions that will be asked. Okay, I hope Sumati has understood and got clarity on her doubt. Okay, so with this, I think we can end today's session. Again, I wish all the very best to all of you. I hope all of you clear your exams in the first go itself. Sir, will you come live tomorrow? No, Kavya, this was my last live session. We had planned 4 sessions of mine, 3 on EBE and 1 on current affairs. And I'm done with the schedule. If you have any doubts about the EBE or current affairs, you can leave your doubts in one of the videos on our Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. We will definitely get back to you on that. Or the phone number of our academy is available in YouTube. So you can send the doubt to them, and the support team will send the questions to the respective teachers, and they will answer your questions. If you're writing the exams in the month of November or so, you can subscribe to our channel. You can subscribe to our video classes and get the video classes on all the subjects, and very comfortably prepare yourself for the exams and even clear the exams. Right then, on that note, let's end today's live session. I once again wish all of you all the very best. Do well. Good luck.